What's cracking, people? It's your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, representing high-level technicians operating globally and beyond. So listen, today, while running errands to and fro, it's very, very busy over at the Hot House and over at the T-Taw Tabernacle. Highly recommend that folks stay tuned for the amazing, interesting, fun, exciting, crazy things that are coming down the pipeline. But in any case, and doing the comings and goings of a typical Friday in my world, I was listening to a podcast that the Master Teacher BGS put out earlier today, and it got me thinking, as do most of his podcasts. This one in particular was an observation of a stock chart or charted stocks over a period of time. And it's an observation of what's happening currently, given the current conditions that have come together to produce the results that all of us are obviously seeing today. Now, I'll do other podcasts that talk about, other aspects of how society is changing and evolving, and will look a lot differently on the other side of this event that we're currently involved in. But the most interesting takeaway was two things. BGS was repeating that there were a lot of things that didn't look standard in his opinion. A lot of things that should have taken place a while ago did not take place because of things being artificially propped up or things being artificially sustained. And that got me to thinking about the conversation that men in this space, in particular the space of man gets woman, about how in the modern world there are a lot of men who are living in an artificial reality. There are a lot of men who have not taken the time to work on the aspects of being a man or manhood, masculinity in particular. So they say they have this artificial sense of what it means to be successful in the space of man gets woman. And that usually translates into, the looks, money, and status sort of trinity that's thrown around in different spaces. And over the past week, we have seen two aspects of that theory sort of deflate, just like the market. And when we take a really brief observation about two of those aspects. Let's look at the status. Now, we've got a great example in the professional sports world about how your status can be removed almost immediately just by making a miscalculated decision. We'll leave it at that. And in terms of money, well, it's all too prevalent on display how quickly a person's money situation can change. What value is can change. And one thing that we repeat in this space over and over again is that it's not the money that a person has, it's his ability to make money, his ability to generate value. I've sort of coined the phrase, a man should always work on his cash value. That's commodifiable attributes, skills, and habits. This is a quality that will always be able to translate into value no matter what environment you're in, no matter where you dropped in the world. Shout out to the Field Master Ron Wills. He's pretty much crystallized the idea that a man should develop himself to a point whereas he can be dropped in any environment without having all of the money in the world or whatever, he should still be able to observe the environment, network within the environment, and not only survive, but begin to thrive within a new environment. That is, in my opinion, the measure of a man's cash value, his commodifiable attributes, skills, and habits. But beyond that, gentlemen, make no mistake about it, we are currently in the midst of an event that is proving what men in this space have been repeating for a long time. Nature always wins. The last aspect of that three-part sort of presentation that a lot of men like to talk about in this sector, the status, the money. The last part is looks, obviously. What is your body like? What is your health like? This particular event that we find ourselves in right now is testing what your health is like. Now, whether this event is man-made or not, or something brought on by nature, that's irrelevant. It's here. It's happening. It's challenging the health and the stamina and the mental stability of people who are exposed to it. What have you been doing in terms of keeping your body together? People who follow me on the Instagram side know that I post regularly from the gym, but other content creators do as well. You can go down that list that I've had for more than a year. And you know what, just to segue a little bit, if you look at my description and every single video that I've posted over the last year, I include a list of content creators in this space that I believe that I've observed to bring value that is useful in a variety of ways. So I always encourage people to take a look at that list. If you're already subscribed, excellent, you already know what I'm talking about. But if not, consider doing that. I think that between these gentlemen is a wealth of information and experience. And basically, we've got a university here where anyone can come and get a range of perspectives on multiple subjects. In any case, so we've got the nature side correcting itself with the current event that's taking place. Now we've also got the social side that's correcting itself, where industries are being shut down. The finance sector is changing. That landscape is changing every day, literally by the minute. So who knows what it's going to look like on the other side? I say all that to say this: there has been this artificial bubble that has been surrounding a lot of men and a lot of people and allowing them to just skate by on this artificial virtual reality, artificially inflated markets, artificially inflated egos that say that as long as you check these boxes off with status and some sort of financial presentation that you can put out there, you don't have to worry about those things that those alpha muscle heads are always talking about. You don't have to spend all the time in the gym. You don't have to be concerned about your grooming. You don't have to be concerned about your hygiene. As long as you got that guap, as long as you got that fetty, as long as you got that bread, the women will come flocking. And you know what? They will. They will totally flock. As of last week, yes. As of last week, they were totally flocking. Welcome to the new normal. So when we talk about how both nature and society is undergoing a major correction globally, we have to look at that last element. We have to look at the man. There's no other time in our modern history where, as C. Boogie would put it, the mirror is more present than ever. You have to take a look at who you are. You have to take a full assessment, an honest assessment of who you are. Because let's be honest, men who have always had a dominant mindset. Men who have been positioned as the anchor, as the alpha, as the go-to, as the commander, as the chief, as the one that people in your family look to for support, for direction, especially in times like this. The men who were willing to put in the work to position themselves mentally, physically, and most definitely spiritually, because right now, the most valuable thing that society has, or all the way down to the individual, is the human spirit. The human spirit is the most powerful element in existence. I've always said that, and I always will say that. When we talk about the ASP Holy Ghost, that is what I'm talking about. We won't get into the metaphysical stuff on this side when we talk about, internal energy, that sacral energy, kundalini, whatever you want to talk about. But when we talk about the human spirit, we talk about men who are willing to develop that within themselves, and they position that energy outward. Women respond. But the gag is that women have always responded to that energy. Women have always responded to the alphas. Women have always responded to the men who are willing to do the work. Because at the end of the day, when everything else seems to be falling apart, these are the men who will stay the course. These are the men who have always looked to the opportunities in times of uncertainty. And now it's the end of the day. Now, all of those other things that a person could have placed in front of themselves, the masks are coming off, the uniforms are coming off. And now, behind all of the rhetoric, behind all of the back and forth, behind all of the talk, all of the discussions, all of the Billy Badasses who are behind keyboards, now we get to see what you're made of. Because be it in life itself, or more specifically, in the space of man gets woman, the man that employs the natural gifts, his natural components, and his ability to tap into the primal nature of a woman will always be victorious. And in this moment, we are seeing unfolding in real time the ancient adage that at the end of the day, nature always wins. Select men, pre-select men, non-select men. I want to encourage you all to like, comment, and subscribe. And of course, as always, this is your man, Cousin T, aka the Alpha Wingman, saying, stay sharp and mission focused. Later.